Danish, Victor, Danta, Stras, Yes, and everyone else. You guys are all the rock stars that I look up to. Thank you once again for having me and give me opportunity. I'm so excited to present and also nervous at the same time. Today I will presenting implement Niam.Xrm.Framework lightweight Microsoft Dynamics CRM plugin framework. Before we start, I will introduce myself first. My name is Temi Wahyu Raharjo. I'm technical consultant that works at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I also one of the Microsoft BizApps user group lead alongside with Darani and PK Hong in Malaysia. In the slide, you can find me on my LinkedIn, my Twitter, my blog, and also my GitHub. Feel free to connect with me also. I already using Dynamics CRM since 2015. Sorry. I think there's a noise. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I already using Dynamics CRM since 2015. So it's about 6 years from Dynamics CRM version 2012 until the current one. So that's just about it. So today we will learning about how to implement the framework with several demonstrations that are already prepared. We got 3 demonstrations for today. Hopefully you guys can get something from these presentations and also willing to give ID or maybe open issue if you are interested. If I'm too fast or you have questions during the presentations time or maybe request, just let me know. So the agenda for today, I will tell you about the history of the framework. Then we also have the framework design. Then the most part of it is actually the demo time. Then if you got questions, I will answer afterwards, and then the summary. So the history of the framework, a brief history of the framework. So in my 6 years of my other experience of Dynamics CRM industry, I gained lots of experience, mostly in my ex-company, whereby in there, me and my friends make a product based on Dynamics CRM. There are lots of complications that we need to do and fix with all the business logic requirements or technical requirements. One of the things that we realized is too much repetitive works that we as a developers need to do when we want to create a plugin. If you know when you want to create a plugin, you always got iService provider, then we need to take the plugin execution context, organization service, target, and etc. The second one is to standardize the coding style, fixing the performance issue that has been reported either by the customer or if we submit our code to Microsoft, they will help us to finding out where's the problems, something like that. The last one was to make standardized unit tests. This is important because we cannot rely our code only tested by humans. We also need to formula. Actually, we need to making unit tests as simple as we can. So we must ensure our code actually working if we have future enhancement in the future. I remember the first time CRM Online being introduced, the plugin DLL cannot be more than 12 megabytes. And our entities alone that time is already 20 megabytes. And so many problems that we are actually facing. That's why Niam.Xrm framework is born. So this framework actually already being used since we working together, me and my friends. We create actually from the unit testing perspective, we create our in-memory database. But actually in the future, after that, we change it into the fake XRM easy because we actually our in-memory database just support the query expressions only. And fake XRM easy is already advanced more than our in-memory database. That's why we change it to that. So shout out also for the Jody Montana and his team for it. So if you see in the right side, there's a framework design that we usually will do. There's a plugin step. Then after that, we create a class based on e-plugin base. E-plugin, sorry. Then we name it plugin base. From there, it's actually this plugin base actually like a bridge between the plugin step into the business logic. So if we have multiple business logic, we will call it through the plugin base. So we have business logic 1, business logic 2, and etc. something like that. So we go to demonstration time. I actually already prepared here one folder. Then in this folder, actually, I have another folder called Bootcamp plugins. In here, actually, wait a minute, I will open something. Yeah, in here, how to create plugin for make it more faster. Actually, we can use like this. So I will cd first to this folder. Plugins. Then in here, I just will do PSC plugin in it. Just like this. Then sorry. Oh, we need to open it using Visual Developer command prompt. Because we need to assign the SNK file. I'm running again the same command. And yeah, just finish like this. So before we start, I will open this one first. Sorry, I forgot about this. So actually, I already creating the GitHub that you actually can access. So in here, actually, I will tell you the scenario user story that we will build. So actually, the demonstration number one is when create custom order, set the order number equal with auto number. So basically, actually, I already making one environment for our testing today. So this is the entity actually. We have name, year, month, index, something like that. So basically, we just want to create auto number. If we click create in the custom order list, we just fill in whatever we have the value that we submit in the form. When we click save, we will generate the auto number, something like this. So later on, I will share to you the link, so you can also try by yourself if you want to do. So the user story number one is actually we will create auto number. We will filter the name based on name, year, month, and etc. Something like that. Then if we don't have the auto number yet, we will generate using the customer name, year, month, and the number, running number, something like that. If we already found, then we only need to +1 the auto number, then send back the pattern, this one. So when we want to create it, we already create the project. So I will open the project now. Give me a time. The Visual Studio loading. Yeah. So the Visual Studio already open. Now before that, actually if you open the GitHub, that one, I already also including the resources that we need to have in the resource folder. So actually, you can copy the entities.cs, this one, into your project because I will show you the early pound entity, not using the late pound. So I just copy this one and then put it into the plugin project in the here. Then we open the project here, show all files. Not yet. Try to unload, reload again. Yeah, you have the entities already. Then we can start to create the. So the first one, we actually will create the business logic first. So I can delete this because this is the generated files that we don't need one. I will put it in the folder to make it more nicer. Then the first class, we will name it sorry, I will open my name first. We will name it onset order number. Then from here is actually, I just copy paste the code and then I will tell you what is this one. Oh, before we starting this one, we also need to manage like a package. We need to install the Niam.Xrm.Framework. So I already published the framework. Then you actually just can install it in here. Just like this. If we build success, yeah. So this is the code. The feature of the Niam.Xrm framework, that one, is actually, if you see in here, this framework is actually simplified all the things. The get this one is actually we will get the latest data of the plugin target, that one. So we will get the customer ID, get the date to get the value. Then actually the code just simple. I will check the validation first. I will check whether the customer is accessed and the transaction date is accessed or not. If already not accessed both of this one, I will just return. So this is to simplify the logic. Then in how to get the customer number.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tammy,
sorry.
a small request, please. Can you zoom in a little so that it's more visible?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is good. Thank you.
So coming back again, so actually how to get the customer name, that one, because I'm already designed this one to be in the pre-operation. That's why we need to retrieve into database. If we are not retrieve it, then we will get nothing. But if we are creating this business logic to post operation, we actually, instead of using this one, we just can do like, sorry, to do like this customer drive.name. But because we are in the pre-operations, of course, we need to retrieve by ourselves. So this is the logic to get the customer name. Then this is the how we get the month and year. So in the auto number one, we actually need to get auto number. Get auto number because I am like more into query expressions compared to fetch XML. I will retrieve the auto number using these three parameters: customer name, year, and month. So basically, we are searching the auto number plus with the state code active. Then here is the if the data we already get the data, then we just return the first one. If not, then we actually can create like new auto number. Then we set all the things that we already passed before to this one. So this is the second feature of the Niam.Xrm framework. There's a like chain function to do this. So we actually can do set something like this. Set new name with customer name, set new month with month, set year to year, and index to 0. After we get the auto number already, we actually can, because the initial I give it as 0, that's why we need to put it +1. Then the format just we do like this. Using the literal strings, we pass customer name, year, month, and index, and we path left to 5, something like that. Then we just need to set the new order number and assign the value here. Then after that, the last part is actually because got possibility the auto number is not created or already there. So we just need to check if the ID is empty, then we create else. Actually, we just need to service.update, something like this. If we already finished the business logic, we actually can just build it. Then done. The result of this one is actually, if you open the bin folder, there will be several DLL because we actually using like third-party libs, the Niam.Xrm framework. That's why we need to merge it. If you open the GitHub this one, actually I already give. Oh, sorry. Before we merge it, of course, we need to create the plugin because this is just the business logic. We need to create the bridge that one. So usually I will name it like pre-create order. So we know that actually, this one is for the pre-operations and the message is created for the order. Something like this. Then the code just simple also. We have plugin base class. We assign the entity type, which is new order. And then we also inherit a plugin, something like this. So this is when you create this, actually, I will show you if empty one. You actually just need to use the Visual Studio feature to automatically generate all the things for you. So in here is actually we need to set the plugin step, this class reorder create to get all the data. If so, the column set we set to all, or if you actually willing to make it more faster the performance, you actually can put it or set the column set to the which one you want to retrieve. So basically, the Niam.Xrm framework, this one, you can get the target, the initial data using the framework automatically, or actually you can get from the pre-image or post-image. But for this demonstration, actually, I will take all, and I will take from this one. Sorry, column set all true. Just like this. Then when we want to execute, we just need to tell which one we want to, which business logic that we want to call. which is on set auto order number. With this one, the first scenario actually supposed to be passed. Something like this. We go to the pin folder. So we have the plugin, all this one I copy. Then we will use il-merge to merge all the DLL. So I will open one folder. Give me 1 minute. I will open it first. Yeah, this one. So in here, I already prepare all the things. Then for the command to merge it is actually simple. I will make it the font to be bigger. Yeah. So actually just il-repack. Then we give the SNK file. Then out this one is where's the result will be put, and then all the DLL that we actually need. So for this one, we actually need the bootcamp.plugins.dll and also Niam.Xrm.DLL, framework.dll. So we just need to double click this one. Sorry. Then actually, I will open in the PowerShell. Because too fast. Just need to fill the path. Then it will show you that actually it's already finished. And then the date is already just now only. Then we just need to deploy the plugin. So we connect with the plugin registration tools to the my environment that one. If you open the GitHub, actually I also already give you the solutions. So you actually just need to, if you really want, you just open the GitHub, then try by yourself. Everything else is already included in here. This one I already create the plugin step. Actually, I just want to copy it and put it in the. Wait a minute. Where's the folder? This one. Here, then we can copy, but probably will get error because there's another plugin step. So I will untrack first. And just register the yeah, sandbox and database. Then we register. Success. Then in here we actually can create the plugin step. So for this one is actually create new order. The pipeline we choose pre-operations and register new step. And then, so if we go back to the environment, so I just click save. And this is the data that we actually just created, then actually already works. But if we choose again the same data, we try to create again. day, the data, atom also, I put one. When we click save, nah, got problem here. Because actually if you check in the code, in the business logic there, actually got bugged in there. Now, that's why the next scenario is actually we want to create unit tests to verify the code that we actually already create. So we just go through this one. I will create the unit test project. Usually I will name it as same as the plugins project, but we put test in behind. Just like this, we create OK. Now, the Niam.Xrm.Framework, that one is also got companions for it. If you want to do unit testing, we actually can install Niam.Xrm.Test Framework. So we just need to install it. In the plugin.test, manage. So we need to create solution for it. So I will save first, then I put in here. Yeah. Then manage Nugget packages. Plugin configuration is invalid. Okay. I try delete first. Then I try to create again. New app, new project. This one. Plugins test. Create. Yeah. It's not the package. Then browse to Niam.Xrm.Framework.test helper. Now you can install it in your unit test project. Just install. Wait a minute. Wow. Sorry. Wait time to install it. So if you want to follow through, you can open the part number 2, this one. In here, actually, I already prepared all the things. Suppose that is it. Then after we already install, we just need to add reference to the project that we just already create. So we need to have reference there. Now, automatically it will help you to install FactXRM easy also in there. Just like that. Any questions?
Not right now. I think the questions will all be posted on chat and then we'll discuss at the end.
Yeah, understand. So I just copy paste the code. So basically, for the unit testing is actually pretty simple. I will open Notepad here. So whether we want to use, in terms of testing, that one is actually suppose got input, then we do process there. After that, we verify the output. So it's the same when we want to create the unit testing. I already copy paste the code. I rename the file name from unittest.cs. I will put rename it into on-site order number test, something like this. So it's the same. We have input, which is we set the account because we need account. Then this is the target, input target. Then when we want to testing, we need to use this one, test event. We set new order. In here, we actually like injecting into the in-memory database that we will have the account. And then we actually running the business logic using create event command on set order number. Then we pass the target order that we want to run. Then after finish, this is actually the process. So the first one is input. Input here. This is running the process. Then this part is actually verify. Now, when verify, I just need to get the order number. I will check now or not. The second one, I will check the format. Is it the correct format or not? Then the second one is actually because we also will create the auto number. Then we just need to check in the DB event created, which is in here created, got updated or deleted. Because our business logic is actually created, then I just take the first one, then check. So this scenario is actually for created scenario. So we just need to check all the other data that we think is important. The second scenario is actually if the auto number is already there. That's why we have another one is original auto number. We pass the account original number. Then actually if the index is 99, when we running the process, suppose the auto number become 100, something like that. So this is just the difference between the created and updated. As simple as that is actually we just need to run the test. If we run the test, now when we want, actually if we got problems, we also can debug. So in here, got error. Now that's why I know got error is because the unit test, that one. So got problems on the when in the business logic here. So we actually, after we set the auto number, we don't do anything with the index. So for the fixing, actually pretty simple. We just need to set the auto number, index as the index this, just like this. If we try to run again, will it pass or not? Yeah, already green. Something like this. So this is the for me why unit testing is important, is to actually without us to deploy it to the environment, we already know will success or not. So if we want to try manually, we can just build it. Then following the previous steps, copy the result, put it in the merge folder. Wait, yeah. Put it in the merge folder. I copy, paste it, and then just build it. Sorry, the build is in there. Then just need to update it. something like this. Done, and we actually can try again. So that common corporations. Corporations. One, when we click save, suppose already running to number 2. Oh, sorry. What happened? Already run, already correct, something like that. So this is for the pre-create one. Then the next scenario is actually for the post operations. Oh, sorry. In here, we actually also can do something else to make it a little bit fancy, which is actually I copy this unit test first. Instead of using service.create or service.update, I will try to use observe message. So the unit test is, I change it first to here. You will not see the difference. So in here, yeah. Actually, in the unit test part, not really got changes. But I found out there's a problem if we just not set to the our in-memory database the auto number. So actually, I insert in the test event this part. So the changes is just this part. When we run the test, we see what will happen. Yeah, nothing changed in this part. So the business logic, copy paste. Nah. The business logic I changed from the service.update or service.create. I use service.execute this one, accept request. Now, when we do refactoring, we also need to make sure our unit tests are still working like the usual one. So when we already change it, when we run, all the things still green. That's why for me, the unit test, that one, once again, is very important, because if we got future changes, the unit test still can verify our things, our works. So this part is already done. Then we just continue to the another demonstrations, the post operations one. So for the user story number 2, in here is number 2, because the number, I mean the demonstration number 2, that one is actually the unit testing, that one. So we create custom order summary. So here is actually I already prepared one entity that actually, like, we want to retrieve advanced query. We will take the custom order and order details. So the summary, that one, we just need to set the month and the year and the customer that we want to apply. Then automatically the plugin will help us to retrieve how many quantity in the custom order details based on the customer that we already choose, and also the total amount for it. So this one, just my idea only to show you how actually the framework will help you to get all those things easily, something like that. So we just need to create new business logic. Now, usually if different entity, I will create a new project. But for these demonstrations, to make it more faster, I will just create new class. Sorry. I just need to copy all this one. The name, I will change it in here to make it simple. On calculate summary, the logic also, the complexity is actually when we want to retrieve the data. So like usual, if we want to create business logic, we need to make sure the data is valid first. That's why I always make this statement, which is I will checking the month now or not, year now or not, the customer ref now or not. If these combinations all is okay, then we do, else just return it. Then how to retrieve? We actually will have inner join query. So we query the order and the order detail. So we query the order using the condition is customer, date, and the status is finished. Then for the order link, we will link it, the order detail with the order using this attribute. Then I will name it the entity alias OD. The columns, I will take the price and the quantity only. Then I will surface the retrieve. Something like that. Then the next part is actually the order details is one. So the framework also got a lot of extensions that you can actually check and use. In here, we actually have extensions called get alias entity. So if you already know, when we return the data, we actually return the data type is new order. But we using the extensions get alias entity, we just need to this alias entity data type is new order detail. Then we just need to pass the alias entity that one. So this order details now become new order detail instead of new order. So using this data, actually can use some functions in the link queue, and then the framework also got cap value, which is extensions to cap the data with the default value if the value is null. Now the problems with all of us actually in our industry, whereby we create like coding, that one we usually facing object reference not null or something like that. Now actually get value this one, these extensions will help you if the data is null. Instead of return null, we actually return integer, which is 0. We actually can set also if the value is 0, we want to set like what. But by default, if we are not passing anything, this one will return 0 if the new quantity is null, something like that. Same also with the total amount. We actually want to have calculations between quantity and the new price. We also use get value. Now, in here, we just need to, once again, because the operation in the post, so we need to, instead of using the target, we need to call service.update, something like this. That's why for me, we as a developer must very smart choosing which operations that we want to run. The problems that I find my colleagues did is actually maybe the operation is wrong. That's why when we creating plugin, the plugin performance is not good. Usually for this scenario, I will put it in the pre-operations instead of in the post-operations. Post-operations, usually I will just like call maybe web service or maybe another source system that we need to call or what. But usually back again, for this scenario, usually I will put it in the pre-operations, but for the demonstration purpose, I put it in the post-operation to show you how actually, what's the difference between pre-operation and the post-operation, something like that. With this is actually already done. Then if we want to create the unit test, I just copy also. Just like this. I rename, then we actually can run it. Something like this. Yeah, all green. So I'm not sure. Is there any questions so far?
There's a few on the chat.
Yeah.
So
I will open this one.
Hello. Yes, I think the main question right now, Temi, and thanks again for this awesome project. The main question is, will you be catering to move from IL merge to shared projects? I know that's the main question right now.
Yeah, about the share project, right? Actually, I'm not really sure how actually we want to bundle this one into the share project, because if we use the share project, meaning that you are all need to copy all our code into your project, which is, I think, if I'm not remember wrongly, just maybe a couple of weeks ago, Microsoft say it will drop the ill merge, something like that, ill merge or ill repack. But I'm pretty sure that actually they will create another way to solve this issue. But if you are really willing to use it as a shared project, meaning that you need to clone the existing GitHub project, that one, and then put it in the shared project. Because for me, it's actually shared project, that one, not really dynamics, like what actually the Nugget package already done for us, something like that. Is that answer your questions?
there's one more actually.
Thank you, Temi.
Yeah.
I guess it's just really because the community want to use this utility, and as you can imagine, now that IL merge is no longer supported, they just want to make sure that they can use this utility in a supported fashion. But I'm sure you're going to update the Git repo and maybe make an announcement regarding how to utilize the sharing. So that's great. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Sure. If I already know how to make it like share project, and then everyone actually just need to retrieve or what, something like that, I will update the project for sure. But for me, I already tested the share project, and I feel like we cannot do anything else because this one is open source object. Very hard for us to actually like deliver it to the customer that were willing to use it. That's why for me it's like big no for current now.
So the next question is by David. He's asking, when running the test by calling the create option, does it create a record in the environment?
Oh, no, this one is like I told you before, it's actually using SRM easy. So it's actually internal memory. Now, the Niam.Xrm.Framework.task helper is actually like wrapper for the fake SRM easy. So we are not directly touching with the fake SRM easy functions, but actually we wrap it like what we like lah, something like that. So this one is just like uh, uh, yeah, for us it's actually more easy if we wrap it by ourselves, something like that. That's why in here, because like I told you, uh, this part, dp.event.updated is actually, if using fake SRM easy, will be very hard to know which entity that actually, I mean, if we create, it will run on where, update, run on where. That's why we actually got this one, is to simplify the testing scenario, something like that.
So, yeah, just to answer, just confirming, answering Dave's question regarding, right, okay, yep. So your question is now answered, and I believe the next question is in relation to Myanmar's question, which is, does this framework support custom workflow development as well?
Actually, I never try in the custom workflow, but suppose it also supported for that sense. That's why I mean, actually, the more user that willing to try this one, then you just need to open issue if got anything happen. We sure will update it. But I never use it. Mainly is for the plugin side.
Yep. I can see a little debate going on regarding IL merge and
Yeah. Sure.
And I guess that will be
like this one.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So I'm just wondering if any other questions in the chat. Right. So whilst we've still got 5 minutes on this session, I know for many of the developers on the call, obviously plugin development is the main role that many of the developers play on projects, and so it'll be great to see any questions just related to plugin development and challenges you have. I know one of the common challenges is around unit testing, actually, Temi. So in the past, usually Geordie tends to share how to complete challenging unit tests using a fake XRM easy. So what's the background of the unit test framework that you've incorporated in this framework?
Actually, we use the fake SRM easy one. So basically, just because the fake SRM easy for us, we we are more comfortable using our way. That's why we actually wrap the fake SRM easy. How to answer? But actually, I want to show you like this. This is the real scenario that I have in my organizations. Like usual, we as a developer tends to always making the plugin like this. So this is the plugin, just simple as this one. But all the code, we just put it in the one place. If you see in here, there's a lot of line of code, which is very frustrating if you cut part on it. That's why when we change it into, after we refactor it, it becomes much more less stress compared to that one. This one. So, like I told you before, the design is we have the base plugin, that one. This one, I'm using the old version of the Niam.Xrm.Framework. So you will see a little bit difference, but it will much more nicer in here. But if you check on the business logic, there's a lot of business logic there. There's a validations, there's a lot of this one, something like this. So basically, it makes our works more easier if we are willing to break down all the business logic using. I mean, even though without using the framework, you will be much more help if you are creating the plugin using this way.
And again, Temi, the last question is in relation to early and late bound class generation.
Yeah.
So how does your utility manage the generation of classes?
Oh yeah, I'm not telling you that one. So the previous one I told you actually when we generate our entities is already 20 megabytes. Now, actually why the code now become kept and set that one, we actually remove the property on chains. So that's why we can say that this entities is actually like economy versions of the early bound, something like that. Because the entity, if you see, is actually just like this email address, nothing more, just like this only. But if you are using the original, also still can running using this framework, something like that. And also this framework also support late bound.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So Temi, so obviously you're doing lots of great stuff in the community, and I love your blogs and your topics that you address, especially around development challenges, common scenarios that you often face, and dilemmas that you often think, hasn't anybody actually solved this yet, right? So, and that often usually is the developers who have to face those problems. So, so I just want to thank you for all the contributions you make to the community.
Thank you,
please keep up the great effort. And could you also please share your contact details so the community can keep in contact with you and keep up to date with what you're up to? That would be really, really helpful.
Okay, I will put it in the chat box, that one. Also, all the source code for today's demonstration, I'll put in here. I will sign it into the message box also. Thank you so much, Ras. Thank you.
Thank you. And just handing over back to Yash, who will be introducing the next session. Thank you again, Temi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yash.
Great. All right. So let's move